My name is Chantal Jenkins, and this is my final course reflection for my grad school course at Coker College by the name of Analysis of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. First, I'm going to start with my memories from this course. First of all, this course was definitely a lot of work, but even though it was, I can say that I learned a few things. I learned how important it is to make sure that assessments are aligned with instruction and curriculum. I must say that this is still a challenge for me when it comes to creating assessments, but there is always more room for growth. As an educator, this course has allowed me to think a little deeper when designing projects or assessments to go along with my lessons. I will definitely remember how to design an integrated unit with assessments that are aligned to the standard. It wasn't easy, but I did put forth effort. Next, I'm going to discuss what I believe my students will remember most from my integrated unit. My integrated unit was about animals and animal habitats. I decided to integrate science, engineering practices, and English language arts standards. I think that students will remember learning about animals and how they can survive in distinct habitats. They'll realize that each animal has certain characteristics that allow them to live in a particular habitat. I also think that they will remember the collaborative learning and sharing what they have learned about animals and their habitats with each other. I think that students will have fun when developing the models of habitats in the form of a diorama. For the most part, I am proud of my work, but when first starting to create the unit, I was a little lost. After working on creating lessons, the purpose of doing the assignments became clearer. I see that it is very important to make sure that assessments are aligned with instruction because that's what drives the teaching and learning process for the students as well as the teacher. I do feel as if I could have created more assessments that could be student centered instead of teacher centered. I teach second grade, so sometimes I am stuck on the thought of students may not be able to do certain things, so I try to keep it simple for them. I definitely have to try to challenge my students more when it comes to creating assessments. This will definitely affect my teaching practices because it does make me think whether or not assessments that are given to my students are meaningful. As an educator, I want my students to get the most out of their learning. I would like for my assessments and teaching to be more student centered. That is something that I will have to push myself to do. I'm going to have to get out of my comfort zone and let my students become explorers in their own learning. I think that I can step back a little or maybe a lot more to facilitate entire class discussion. This will allow students to learn from each other. It's also a great opportunity for me to formatively assess through observation how well students are grasping new content and concepts that are introduced to them. But for the most part, I can say that I enjoyed this course. I also learned a lot putting together my integrated unit that I can utilize in the upcoming fourth quarter of this school year. And that's it for my final reflection for this course.